This week on the No More Late Fees podcast, Jackie and I are joined by fellow podcaster, 80s lover, and Christmas enthusiast, Gerry of Totally Rad Christmas. Before our episode drops later this week, we wanted to give our audience a chance to get to know Gerry with some fun games. Hola.
Welcome,
Hey.
Gerry.
How are y'all doing? Thanks for having me.
Doing well.
It's a long time coming.
It is. And I've been looking forward to this movie, so
I can't wait to do this podcast.
I know.
It's terrible Nick Cage. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's Nick Cage, so I don't think you can mess it up, really.
That's true.
One, I was excited because you are the first podcaster to invite us and welcome us to join a podcast. So I was very excited to, how many did we do so far? 2 or 3? I did yours, and then you ushered me into the Christmas pod family, which is super exciting. And we did Stranger Things. I remember that.
We did, yeah. It was fun.
And then we did
the Merry Melee.
Yes, which is awesome.
It was, and it's such a bummer that it hasn't been released yet because apparently like one of the audio files was corrupted so bad. So I told the host, just put in like the Snoopy teacher sound, whenever that guy talks, just wah, wah, wah.
We're super excited because Gerry is a wonderful, illustrious member of our Illumipati crew. And just want to give a shout out to that. That's our group of podcasts that just really help each other. We encourage each other. So glad that we're able to be in that group, and especially to you, Gerry.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's so blessed to have all those folks that just kind of, like you said, give us knowledge and encouragement and anything that we need. So I appreciate you and all of those guys there at the Illumipati.
I love it.
Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about your podcast first and foremost?
Sure. So I'm the host of Totally Rad Christmas, the podcast that talks all things Christmas in the 80s. It can be anything Christmas related, toys, movies, specials, music, fashion, foods, fads. As long as it was kind of popular during Christmas in the 80s, even just a little bit, I'll find a way to cover it. And mostly because I love Christmas, and I was, Christmas is the most special when you're a kid, and I was a kid in the 80s. So that's my jam. We had the best toys and the best cartoons, and some pretty darn good music too. So I can't complain.
100%. And I'm going to shade Jackie right now because Jackie is not a Christmas movie fan.
I am not.
It's heartbreaking. It feels like a dagger. It does.
I mean, I get it. Some people are more Halloween. Some people prefer other things, true crime or whatever. But I think there's always a little bit of Christmas that it can be watched here and there.
Yeah, Jackie is Jack Frost.
A horror movie or like the Michael Keaton?
Isn't that just the same thing?
Yeah. What made you decide to, one, make your podcast and decide to focus on Christmas? I mean, obviously you love Christmas, but you could have done so many different things. What made you decide this is my yum?
Yeah. So I used to listen to another podcast called Tis the Podcast. And
love them.
Yeah. Great show, great folks. They're like some of my best friends in the world, even though we never met in person, which is strange to say. But I used to listen to their show, and they had a lot of strong opinions that I didn't always agree with on some of my favorites. So I was very active in their Reddit page and their Facebook group, whatever. And finally, when they offered a chance for someone to come and actually be on their show, I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to try this. So they're going to learn that, Rankin Bass are actually pretty awesome, even though they're bonkers, So I was on their show, and I guess it went pretty well because another Christmas podcast host was like, you should have your own show. That was a fun episode. So I thought, okay, yeah, that sounds fun. And so I knew it had to be something 80s because I really wanted an excuse to talk all the cartoons and toys. That was like the real reason. I just really wanted to talk about like Transformers and G.I. Joe. But then I thought, you know what? I had so much fun talking about all this Christmas stuff. I got to do Christmas also. I love it. My favorite holiday. My mom made it like the most special thing in the whole world every year. my family, whenever we get together, we still go Christmas caroling up and down the streets.
Oh, that's so
It's just,
sweet.
it's just one of those things. It's like, the warm fuzzies and the feels. And so I had to do that. And so I thought, well, the best way to combine the best of both worlds is to just mash them together. And so we have a totally rad Christmas.
Tis the podcast, actually, one of my personal favorites is Anthony. Don't tell him I said it because it'll go straight to his head. Actually, Jackie and I read an insert from his Christmas story over the holidays this year.
Yeah.
So, love them. If you guys love your Christmas, you should definitely obviously check out Gerry's podcast and Tis the Podcast. Really fun. So are you ready for a this or that?
I will, yeah, I'll do my best.
You were like, no.
Oh, what or what? No, yeah.
Famous treasure hunt.
Let's go on a treasure hunt.
All right.
Your first two choices are Fool's Gold or the movie Into the Blue.
Fool's Gold, I guess.
It's a lose-lose situation.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a few Christmas movies I think of like that too.
I
As
think
much
Jackie,
as I love them, there's some that are just like, oof, okay.
I think Jackie would agree with you 100%.
Our next one is The Road to El Dorado or Treasure Planet.
Ooh, probably Treasure Planet. Very underrated.
It is
It
very
is.
underrated. I agree. Next, Lara Croft Tomb Raider or Sahara?
That's not a good choice there. I think maybe Tomb Raider just because I know more people in it, I guess. I don't.
That's fair.
Maybe because it's based on a game. I don't know. I never played the game, which is crazy. But yeah.
I
I'll
never
go
played
Tomb
the
Raider.
game either.
Never met her.
Next, we have Three Kings or Without a Paddle.
I don't know Without a Paddle, so I'm gonna have to go Three Kings.
Ooh,
Oh, Without
it's
a
your
Paddle.
it's your first offense of the night.
I love Without a Paddle. I mean, it's silly, but it has Dak Shepard, Matthew Lillard, and Seth Green, and they go to find the stolen money of DB Cooper. And
Ooh, that
it's
sounds
a
fun though.
It's a comedy. It's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it.
At some point, I'm gonna have to suffer through doing that movie. So
Oh.
yay!
I'll be so excited when we do Without a Paddle. Next up, we have Gold Diggers or Muppets Treasure Island.
Muppets Treasure Island. I'm a
No
Muppets guy,
hesitation.
so. It's not even like anywhere near their best one, but still, I really like that one. It's fun.
I feel like then I have to ask you this question: if you can replace, and this one's been floating around the internet, if you took one movie and replaced all the characters with Muppets except for one of the actors, what movie would it be?
Muppets Lord of the Rings, and Viggo Mortensen would be Aragorn.
the fact that you answered that so
It was so quick.
I mean, I haven't thought about it or anything. I'm just,
you're like, I've been waiting my whole life for this question.
Someone finally asked me.
Thank you.
Next up, Pirates of the Caribbean or National Treasure.
Oh man, Sophie's choice here. So I really love both of these movies. I'm gonna have to Captain Kirk Kobayashi Maru it and say both.
Jackie loves that reference.
I do. I really do. It's the impossible scenario. It's a lose-lose. Or a win-win.
Exactly. That's right. In the Christmas podcast world, I'm apparently known for doing that. Like they'll always have those choices, like you can stay in this house with this movie and whatever, or you can stay in this house with this movie. It's like, well, no, I want to pick and choose, and so I always find a way to like go get around it. So they kind of make fun of me that I'm Captain Kirk. I don't believe in the unwinnable scenario.
No, there's always a way to win.
That's right.
Next up, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade or The Goonies?
Oh,
Now that's a
again with the hard
Sophie's
choices.
choice.
Yeah, for real. I think this one, only because of the nostalgia factor of actually seeing it in the theater, I'm gonna have to go with Last Crusade. So as much as I love the Goonies, I would watch the Goonies like a million times before I watched so many other things in this world. But because I actually saw it with my family in the theater, I'm gonna have to go Last Crusade.
Good choice.
Yes, excellent choice.
Well, you did great. See, that wasn't bad.
No, that wasn't too bad.
So I have a question for all of us. Which historic monument or landmark do you think would be the perfect place to store a 90s theme treasure?
Mm. Anywhere in the world or like
Let's
only in
stick with the
US?
US because
Okay.
this is our Memorial Day episode. So,
Oh, nice. Okay. Okay.
I have an
Hmm.
answer.
all right, you go first then.
The now defunct Nickelodeon Studios at Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida.
Oh my God. Because
That's
guess
fun.
what mine is?
Nickelodeon
Dis-
Studios?
No.
Disney
okay.
World?
The defunct Lisa Frank headquarters.
We
Wow,
just
now I
like
feel like I
old
gotta
buildings.
say something fun and witty. I was just gonna go like with the Alamo, but now that's like so underrated. I'm gonna go with Marvel Comics headquarters in New York City.
Ooh, I like
That's a
it.
good one. Jackie, why didn't we pick a blockbuster?
Who knows?
Because there's only
Or-
one left.
Yeah. And it's hopping. It's got tourism, so you can't be hiding treasure
No,
there.
don't hide anything there yet.
Okay, Gerry. So our podcast is from 1995 to 2005. And today we're going to make you an honorary Blockbuster employee. And you have to
Yay.
pick 3 movies you would recommend to a customer from that time period.
From 95 to 2005.
So hard. We know it's not the 80s. So
It's not the 80s.
Yeah, I know. It's like I've been steeped in like all these other movies for like the longest time now. Oh man. Okay. So this one is actually because of a personal story.
Okay.
Halloween H2O. 'Cause I think that
Oh,
came out at 98.
We did that
It
movie
did.
last year.
Yeah, yeah. It's crazy. I actually convinced my girlfriend at the time that I had rented it, even though I hadn't. I ended up buying it and pretended I rented it for some reason. I don't know why. It's the weirdest thing. Okay, so that one. Oh, I was super into Mortal Kombat, so we'll say Mortal Kombat because I think that came out in 95.
Yeah, I did. I think.
Gosh. And then we'll go with the Fellowship of the Ring because why not?
Ooh, yes, why
Perfect.
not? We meant to bring you back when we do Lord of the Rings because Lord knows Jackie and I could barely remember a name during a regular episode. There's no way.
Oh man,
You're gonna have to help us through it because
I love Tolkien. Yeah, it's one of my favorites. So.
You're gonna want to kill us. You're gonna want to
Yeah.
kill us. For
No,
sure.
it's fun. Yeah, it'll be fun. But yeah, so those will be my picks. Just kind of a weird mishmash of stuff.
I love it.
Great picks.
Oh
Great
man,
picks.
Good
What
variety.
year did Clueless? Wait, what year did Clueless come out?
95.
95. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, darn it! Because I'd really like to use Clueless in there. Let's replace Halloween with Clueless.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good, very good choices.
Yes.
I love that movie. It's ridiculous, but it's awesome.
It's one of the movies I feel like I always say changed my life. Like it was before Clueless and
Yeah.
after Clueless.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, there's just something different about it. And after that, you were like, oh, I feel grown up now.
Yeah. 100%.
There are a couple of movies where we're like, not yet. We can't do it yet. We haven't gotten to that point yet. And Clueless is one of them.
Too special. Jackie, it's really me. I'm holding this
Yeah.
back. Mean Girls, Clueless, Bring It On. Like, I don't know what noise that was. Like, that's my body gasping. saying,
Like I can't handle it. I can't handle the pressure.
Yeah, one day. All right. Well, Gerry, why don't you tell everybody your social handles so they know how to find you and listen to your podcast?
All right. So you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Totally Rad Christmas, on Twitter at Rad Christmas, or I have a Facebook group. It's the Totally Rad Christmas Mall and Arcade, where you can post anything 80s or Christmas related you want. In fact, you lovely ladies you can feel free to drop your new episodes there as well. I'm not on TikTok just because I'm kind of lazy and just haven't done it, but I probably will be eventually.
Just say you're kicking it old school. That's all right.
There you go. I'm from the 80s. It's all good. Yeah. And you can find me anywhere that you listen to podcasts. So I'm just about everywhere.
Love it. And
I do have a webpage. Sorry. I do have a webpage, totallyradchristmas.com. It's still relatively new. So even though I've been doing this for like a couple of years now, so I always forget about it. But yeah, totallyradchristmas.com.
I just want one of our guests to come on here and say, you don't know about me? Google me, baby. And as always, you can hit us up at No More Late Fees on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube and TikTok. And guess what, guys? We're almost at 10,000 followers. So if you haven't followed us on TikTok yet, now's the time.
What you waiting for?
Exactly.
What are you waiting for?
And stay tuned for our National Treasure episode with Gerry later this week.
And as always, be kind and rewind.